Okay, we're back for creating a classroom community. And I just wanted to tell you, thank you everybody for volunteering. It really helps when you share, and that's what makes this class work so well. So if I didn't tell you appreciations for sharing earlier, thank you very much. It just makes a big difference. Okay, for creating a classroom community, we want to talk about how to build a classroom community. So we know that in the last session we were talking about it was getting to know your students. That's a little bit different than creating a community of learners. So we're going to focus a little bit more on that now, building that community. So we know as teachers, we can use some of those getting to know you worksheets to kind of help guide students. But again, building classroom community is just a way for us to say that we want our students to really build that camaraderie between each other and really build that teamwork with each other. Just saying things to students like, hey, that's a uh, nice work, or nice job, or thanks for using those appreciative words. Sometimes that's just not quite enough um, to really build that community. So the way you want to take it to that next step is to build in more internal motivation. You want those students to build within themselves that ability. When you see your students helping other students and you don't even have to say anything, that's when you know that you've really got them now working together. So it's that whole idea of having students acting without having to even be prompted to do things. So when we're when we want to build up that teamwork and camaraderie with each other, we want students to know that they're behaving because they know that's the right thing to do in their hearts, right? It's not something that we need to force them to do. So a lot of times, again, we do need to help them and model how to get there. But again, when you see your students helping you out to do that, that's when you know that you've really are starting to get that community going. Okay. Okay, on the next slide, we want every member to know, we want every student to know that, again, it's just having that safe place where they're going to have their needs met, that they know what the expectations are of them, and they come in and they just can do things knowing that they're there to learn. It's knowing that they're striving to meet certain goals, to meet, again, those learning standards. But again, it's not just about learning in terms of a subject content area. It's about learning how to be a great member of society too, right? How to be that member in your community, in your class. And again, it's just that feeling safe, again, to know that it's okay to fail. It's okay to try and make mistakes because that's what learning is all about. Okay? And knowing that you need to correct that behavior. When you do make a mistake, hey, fix it. That's what we want them to be able to get to. We're going to do a think about it. So I want you guys to discuss. We're going to break you up into groups. And in your group, what you're going to talk about is I want each of you to be able to share with everybody in your group how you build classroom community. Okay? So we're going to put you in a group of 5. I think, is that right, Shannon? We have them in 5s? Okay. So for this portfolio activity, this is going to be something to help you out. Okay. Um, and it's going to give you strategy. So really kind of, if you want to take notes a little bit about what people are talking about, we're going to ask the groups also to, some of the groups to share out some of the ideas that they've heard, some of the great ideas about how you build a community within your classroom. So we're going to give you guys 10 minutes and put you into breakout rooms in just a minute. Okay. What you need to do again is, the question is, what do you currently do in your classroom to build community? Okay, now I believe, Shannon, are you posting up?
I am ready. So do you want to give directions on the round robin and how it works? Or are
So
you good?
I think in the group, so everybody just make sure that everybody, it's 10 minutes. So if you can, just make sure that you guys share the time with amongst each other, so that you're going to give one idea and you're going to get 4 of them from the people that are in your group. Okay? Yeah, that's so. Shannon, if you can tell them how you're going to group them. Perfect. It looks like you guys are joining your breakout rooms already. And we do have one group we're going to keep right here in the main room. So when you guys are ready, you can go ahead and just introduce yourselves and then start sharing. Okay. Okay, in this main room, we kept some of you in this main room.
Cash has 2.
Oh, that's okay. Cash has there's 2. Oh, you're gonna be expected to share 2 ideas now, Cash. Sorry.
It's my twin brother.
So for you guys in the main room, if it doesn't have a breakout room assigned to you, then it means you're going to be in this main room. So you guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves and then share ideas.
Okay, I'll go first. Hi, I'm Noelani. I work at Cal Middle School. I teach 7th grade. This is my first year teaching 7th grade. I taught 6th grade last year, world history, so I'm excited. The first thing I did was set up my room. And I took a chance at this, but I set it up to contribute to the classroom community as groups. So I struggled with this because all my tables are individualized, and with the past COVID and all of that, I had them all seating face forward individuals. So this time to create group, a more group atmosphere there, I slammed the 4 tables together so they could work together, help each other. It's just a natural way of having them facilitate and help each other first before their hand goes up to ask me questions. And so far it's working. Tweaks of, talking when I'm talking. So I'm still managing that. Anyway, that was my piece.
I will piggyback on you. Hi, I'm Mia Fitzgerald, and I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade at Washington Middle School. I was a counselor for 10 years, and the art teacher finally retired. So I got to sneak back into teaching, which is what I really love to do. But one thing I do is I've been there 16 years. I take pictures of the kids and I put them all over my classroom. And the kids just love looking at themselves and seeing their siblings and cousins and aunties, and they bring their friends in to come show them their pictures. So that's one thing I do. With my advisory, we cook a lot. Like we do pancakes because that's cheap. I'm spending my own money, and that's fun. They all learn how to flip pancakes together and help each other with that. So, but similar to Noelani, I've got my tables back in groups this year, which is really nice after COVID. But thanks.
Aloha, I'm Cash. I also work at Cal Middle School. Hey, no, I didn't know this is the one you're in. Yeah, I teach music. So this year, what I've done is I'm doing a U for my classroom, and it's really helped. I used to have like groups, but for playing music, it's really awesome to have them all be facing each other, and then we can make circles, or if we're gonna sing, it's good. One of the things that I've implemented this year is apart from that is I have a leader system. So every 2 weeks, there is a leader. So if they need help, then they ask the leader before they ask me. And then they're a little older, right? Middle school. So I only explain once policy. Sometimes I'll explain more than once, but I just tell them I'll just do once. And then if they don't know, then they have to ask the person next to them. So a lot of times they'll be like, "What did you say?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, he wasn't listening." But then if they're really struggling, then I'll help them. But I've noticed since I started doing that, they tend to help each other out more, and they share the information that they've gathered.
I'll continue on that actually. I'm Poni Aloha. I teach at King Intermediate and I teach Pacific Cultures and Polynesian Dance. I also do the same. I have this role where I give directions and I'll only repeat it once. So I give it to the whole class and then I go through it again to make sure they repeat it with me. And if they don't know what they're supposed to do, I tell them, ask a friend. That's a common saying in my class. Ask a friend, ask a friend. I also put them in hui, little community groups where they're supposed to help one another. And I very much encourage that because I always explain to the students from the get-go, it shouldn't only be teacher to student instruction, but also student to student interaction. And then to build the community, I also do a lot of team building activities, especially with dance classes. We have to do that to get them comfortable with each other quicker. So yeah.
I can go next. I'm Maddie. I teach 7th grade science at Wailua Intermediate. With science, we do a lot of collaborating later on in the course. So what I've realized is I really need to focus like the first 2 weeks on just building that classroom community and making sure they know what the expectations are. So the past couple of weeks, we've just been talking about engagement, complacency, disruptive behavior and collaboration, and like using Jamboards to get an idea of what it looks like, what we want to see, what we don't want to see. And just kind of doing team building activities so that then we just went ahead and created our classroom expectations. So now it's just like enforcing it, making sure that we're following it. But doing that 3 weeks in versus doing it the first week, I've definitely seen more buy-in from the kids because now they have an idea of what to expect in the classroom.
What's up, everybody? I can share. So Bryce Tomatani, teach at Campbell High School. I teach graphic design, so it's pretty much similar to what all you guys are saying. This was the first year I actually changed desks into more grouping. I personally just rather have the lecture style seating just because it's easier for safety reasons, just for the high school students. But one of the things I do to build community, I do a lot of sharing. So, like for example, I'll have the students design like a client product for, let's say, like drama club. They got to design like a shirt and a poster. And then I do a lot of share outs. So in the very beginning, I'd say the first week or so, I always reiterate to them, doesn't matter if you don't really like somebody or like if you think their artwork is like the ugliest thing you've ever seen. It really just deters from the sharing. So I really stress that notion that just to and also to be able to provide constructive feedback, right? Because not everything's gonna be positive feedback. So just trying to get the students in that mindset. But yeah.
I'm Jennifer Uhaley. I don't know how to change my name on this thing. I've never used Google Meets. I've only used like WebEx and stuff. So I don't know how to change it. But I'm Jennifer Uhaley and I'm 5th grade at Aliomanu Elementary School. And I taught middle school and high school for like 17 years. It's only my 2nd year in elementary school because I just moved from California. So I'm in this class because it's new. Elementary school is new to me. But one of the things I do in my class, because we serve like a military community. So I think I answered that Jamboard thing with this answer, and it should have been saved for this. But anyways, I hang up a big map of the United States, and then I ask the kids to bring in pictures of their family, and it could be whatever they consider family, because I don't know their family situation. So one girl brought in a picture of herself with her dogs. and then I hang them around the map, and then I connect a string with a pin, like from where they're from, like what they consider home. So they can all get to see that we're in the classroom together, but we came from different places and they're not alone and they're like moving around the room. I mean, around the world. And then I also take pictures. I know somebody else had used pictures. I take pictures of them like pointing or like doing this. And then I hang them like around the room, like over like the labels of stuff or the calendar, because they like to look at pictures of themselves. And then, like Bryce was saying, like they're nervous sometimes, and it's important they learn to disagree with each other and not feel bad, especially math, about getting the wrong answer. So I make them say, if like I ask, does anybody disagree with the answer? But I make them say, like, I disagree with my distinguished colleague, or I disagree with my respected classmate before they disagree with the answer. And they think it's funny to like talk that fancy, and then it kind of takes the sting out of it. It's not like they're telling each other like you're wrong or that's not the right answer. It's like a happier way to disagree. That's what I'm saying. So now we just
Did you guys? Oh no, I was gonna say, did you guys look at the assignment? It looks like one of the assignments is creating a classroom community, and part 2, it looks like there's an actionable thing. So I guess would be interesting to hear is like what activity from either the Jamboard or whatever Padlet are you guys excited to try in maybe strengthening your classroom community? That way we can all, work on our assignment too.
I don't
We have to do that
know.
now.
I have to go back and look.
Yeah,
Is that
there's
Yes.
it's she didn't really talk about it, but it's like you have to do like a history, and then there's actionable, and then so after you apply it, looks like we're gonna have to try it with the kids. So there's like 3 parts. It's under, if you look at the classwork on Google Classroom, it's session 1, creating a community classroom community. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I really liked.
Activities, under activities?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the ones that we have to turn in.
Okay.
But I did like I think there are a lot of good ideas in that one. I like the milling to music and some of that other stuff.
Is the Padlet saved somewhere?
I got a copy of it so I can put it in the chat.
I guess I should have left it open. I closed mine.
And I was like, I'm over here. I'm doing another PD too. So I'm just like trying to bang them all out.
I think there's a link in the Google
Was it still there?
Classroom. Yeah,
Oh,
I
nice.
just saw it.
For the
But I think-
Padlet.
Yes, for the Padlet. Is anyone else doing the ELL one on Saturdays? The
Mm-mm.
ELL PD?
I'm doing that one too.
Oh, okay, so we're gonna have conflict in two Saturdays.
Oh, I'm in the first one. So I don't think mine's self-paced. Mine's sheltered instruction.
Oh, no, mine I actually have to go to
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, we got to just get these out of the way.
Shucks, I need one more sheltered instruction. It was always taken.
What district are you in?
I'm in Cal. We're on the Big Island. Cal.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So
It's for my district.
okay, I
And
get
it's
it. Yes,
free.
get
Yeah.
it.
There's got to be more coming out though.
Yeah, I need one more to
Mm.
do.
If you're in contact with Michael DePoe for Kauai, I think he's might be for the whole district. His last name is spelled DEPOE. He just put out an email for, it wasn't for credit, but it counts for the TESOL like certification, and it's like it's like a workshop, like a 1-day workshop.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Is everyone scrambling to get their credits between now and when we can reclass?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, thank you. I think everybody's back now.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Shannon. Okay, now what we're going to ask you to do is, since we're back as a whole group, I'll be going over your portfolio entry and what you need to do for this one. But again, hopefully you're looking and listening to some of the ideas that have been said. We also have, I know the question came out about some of the activities we've been doing with the Padlet and the Jamboards. You can always go into your Google Classroom, and then for this module, I have under the activities, I have those Padlets there. So you can go back to those too, okay? All right, so as a whole group, can I ask one of the elementary groups, is there somebody who would be willing to share one of the community building, what you do, an idea? We'll start with the elementary. I know we always start with them, sorry. Anybody want to share an idea?
Okay.
I'll
Oh,
share.
sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Well, let's say.
Okay, go, Amy. Go, Amy. Go.
I was just saying, what? We do many different things. We do a lot of hard centers working together. One teacher mentioned that she has her students work in centers every day, different partner every day. That way they can get to know each other and they can also resolve conflict if it arises, just by, getting to being familiar with each other's kind of style. I do a lot of small group stuff, similar, center work, just so they can kind of get to know each other, because they might have been together last year. I'm first grade, so they might have been together last year, but they know some people in the class, they don't know all, so they're not totally comfortable yet. So basically just like giving them that together time.
Nice. Can I just ask, Amy, does it take a while to teach the students what they need to do in those groups when they're working in the center?
Yes. Yes, it does. Because it involves behavior too, right? It's behavior, it's cooperation, plus the actual activity that they're doing. So there are a lot of, like an onion, there's a lot of layers to teaching a center. It does take time. It takes maybe like the first month of school to get a couple down.
Thanks. And can I just ask one more question? What's like a doable amount for you in terms of how many centers you have going on?
Oh, it depends on the year. I'd say I like to introduce I start with 1 a week and then 2 during the week for the first month. I would not overload them because you really want them to be, automatic with those centers. So you can move on and do things with a small group while they do those centers. So it takes a little time, but really worth it.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, that's really helpful. Does somebody else I know we have a big elementary group here. Does somebody else want to share an idea that they do for community elementary groups?
Someone in our group shared an activity about squeezing toothpaste out and how it mimics like when you say something, or they had an activity where you squeeze the toothpaste out and you try to get the toothpaste back in, but at the end of the activity, the students realize that they can't get all of it back in. So it kind of mimics like when you say something unkind to someone, like, can you really take all of it back? So should you, say it in the first place? And I thought that idea was really sweet. It's hands-on and they kind of get a visual understanding of not everything that has come out can be taken back.
Thanks, Courtney. That is a great visual. Thanks for sharing. Okay, my middle school group. Is there somebody who can share one of the great activities that building community for your group? A little bit older students.
It wasn't quite an activity, but something that Pony Aloha shared, she teaches dance and I teach music, was interesting, was we both try to keep our instruction, like said, once or a few times. and that if students don't know how to do it, since they're a little older, then they have to talk to each other to get the information that was missed. And we try to give them more accountability in that. And then she mentioned having them into small groups, into to go over things that were explained or taught in class.
Thanks for sharing that, Cash. Yeah, that's
And
a
then-
great idea to build that accountability. Oh, sorry, Noelani, go for
No,
it.
no, I was gonna add on to that too.
Please do.
Sorry, a few of us went back to seating arrangements and grouping our class as groups rather than, past the COVID, it was all individual facing forward. And then in that term, it's kind of like the students are set up naturally to facilitate among themselves and help each other, before raising their hands, and they can hold more discussions, as well as we talked about taking pictures. Students like to see themselves and then putting those pictures up within the classroom walls so they can feel more of a community setting. Thank you.
Wow, your classrooms sound wonderful already. Thank you for sharing. Yes, and I know for some, as we're getting into like the middle and high school, sometimes I know the elective teachers and others, they have larger class sizes. So to have to manage and deal with all the students, again, some great ideas that I've heard. Thank you. And when you're talking about room arrangement, having them grouped differently, we are going to address that a little bit later on in a different session. So I'm glad that came up as well. Thank you for sharing. And then my high school, I know, do we only have, I think, Bryce, are you the only one? Do you want to share your idea?
Yeah. So one of the things, I teach graphic design. So a big part, I always talk about design thinking process. So basically I just reiterate to the students, sharing out is a big part of the learning process, getting constructive feedback. And I shared in the group, right? Basically, majority of the time it's not going to be positive feedback. So just trying to get the students in the mindset where they're able to handle it. Just because I found when I first started teaching it, when they would receive feedback, even if it wasn't that, let's say, mean per se, like they got really disheartened and they kind of like lost interest in the assignment. So yeah, basically just trying to keep them in that perspective that not everyone's gonna agree with you, but you gotta figure it out, and we all gotta move in the same direction eventually.
I like that. Thanks, Bryce. Thanks for sharing. Okay, we're going to move on to our last activity, believe it or not. Oh, we're just flying through this, right? I hope you guys are okay. We're probably not going to go to 2 o'clock. So if you can just kind of hang in there, we're going to finish fairly soon. Okay, this next section, what we want you to do is, again, in your Google Classroom, you're going to see in there a link for professional readings. So that's where you're going to find the information on the screen right now. Now, if you are, and your last name is A through L, what we want you to do is to scan through, and you're just going to kind of skim through the first 4 articles. So the 10 ways to build community, the 14 ways to cultivate classroom chemistry, building a classroom community, and the 10-minute community builders. Those are going to be yours. Okay, and I'll give you instructions of what you're going to do in just a minute. If your last name is M through Z, you get to read through and skim through the Sequence School District, the 17 proactive classroom management strategies, the 7 keys to a positive learning environment, and the positive greetings at the door. Now, what we want you to do is we want you, and we have created yet another Jamboard for you. And what we want you to do is we want you to just put one of the ahas that you read about, or one of those great ideas in the reading that you're like, oh, this is really cool. And we want you to add it to the Jamboard. Okay, now if you look at the Jamboard, we're going to bring it up right now, and I'll share the link with you as well. Let me put that in the chat. Oh, Shannon already beat me to this, but she's so fast. Okay, did she? Is that the Jamboard link too? Here's the Jamboard link. So she's giving you the article links. Here's the Jamboard link. So what you're going to do is just put, if you can, we know there's a lot of you. So rather than having tons of Post-its on here, we just want you to put one post-it. And again, my A through L, you just need to choose one of the articles and you're going to put your post-it in the correct little square there. All right, for the article. We put 4 articles on one little Jamboard page so that it's nice and easy. So only 4 per each one. So you're going to grab that little sticky note, write that great idea, yep, that you read about, or that great aha, and leave it on there. So if you happen to see 4, you got to choose another one. Somebody beat you to it. Okay. And then for my M through Z, you're going to just go to the next frame. There we go. And then those are your 4 articles that you're skimming through. So if we can, we'll limit it to 4, maybe even a 5th one if we really need to. All right, you just need to post one. Again, just one idea. Okay, any questions? I hope that was clear. Okay, we're going to give you about 7 minutes. Hopefully that's enough time. And if we do need more time, I'll ask you guys in about 7 minutes. Okay? All right, then if you guys are good to go, no questions, go ahead and get started skimming those articles. Oops, Shannon, I see that we were going to give them, Shannon, I see that we were going to give them 15 minutes. Maybe we should honor that. Okay, let me just do a check. I know that was a little bit short. Do some of you need more time? It looks like you've been posting ideas. Does anybody need more time? Thumbs up if you're ready to go. Okay. Oh, thanks. Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay, thanks everybody. All right, so as you can see from that Jamboard, again, because this whole module again is about creating community, we want to give you a lot of different ideas and options to do, and hopefully you read some great strategies to build community, because this is going to help you with your next portfolio entry. So can I just have, we're just going to go through a quick share out if we can. So let me just go to that back to that first slide. Here we go. 14 ways to cultivate classroom chemistry. Does somebody just want to share one of their Post-its? No? Okay, I'll just read one of the ideas from each one if that's okay. But again, go through. If you need even more ideas, you can also go through and read the articles that you weren't assigned to. But here's one. It says something simple. Greet students at the door. I know some people have these crazy fancy handshakes with other students, so you can probably do that. For the one on the right, classroom meeting every day to speak, listen, exchange ideas. 10-minute community builders. Put up, put down. Go over some examples of put downs. Create a box where students can help write put ups to help encourage people and students. For 10 ways to build community, do as many community learning activities as possible. Maybe even co-create classroom roles. Okay. For the next slide, yep, the method. One says a 4-step process in order to get comfortable and able to take academic risks. For the 17 proactive classroom strategies, visual schedule of classroom activities, 7 keys, grade level teachers engage in collaboration, even creating expectation and rules as a way to always refer back to, and then positive greetings at the door again. Set a goal to have at least 5 positive interactions with students as they enter the room. Okay, so again, go through these. I'll also put the link for this as well in the activities if it's not there yet, so you have something to go through. So thanks again for sharing out. Hopefully you got some great ideas. The next slide is a did you know? Here's another activity that you can do. Does somebody want to read that for me about how to do an inside-outside circle? Anybody?
I'll read it. I can read it. Okay, this is a cooperative learning structure that can be used for practicing skills and facts and for sharing information. This is a good way to get the students up and moving. If the teacher stands in the middle of the circle and is able to eavesdrop on conversations, it can also serve as a formative assessment. The first time you use this structure, it will take time to get the students to understand what they need to do, but with practice, they will be quicker in getting into the 2 circles.
Thank you, Noelani. So
welcome.
again, the way this would work is you would have a circle on the inside and they would have to partner up with the person on the outside circle. And it's just a really fun way to have students just kind of dialogue. And then you can just spend a minute or 2 having them share. And then you can have maybe the outside circle move to the right 2 places. And then they have somebody else to partner and share and talk to. So it's just a nice, easy way for them to get up and move as well. Okay. Okay, now let's jump to our portfolio assignment. Here is your first one. So for this one, we know that a successful classroom community promotes a lot of that positive social skills and academic achievement. It's a place where students learn how to participate in class activities, work collaboratively, and resolve conflicts. Students learn best when they feel a part of that community where they feel accepted and where they are encouraged. So in order for this to happen, here's your assignment. Let's go to the next slide. So part 1, what you are going to do is give us a little bit of history. In 3 to 5 sentences, just describe something that you've done prior to this professional development class that you've done to create community. So you guys have already shared an idea. You can write about that one. Part 2 is your actionable one. Now, what we want you to do is take from many of these great ideas that you've heard and to just initiate one new action, technique, activity, something that you're going to do to build community in your classroom. And just describe it for us. What is it that you're going to implement that's new? Then part 3 is that reflective part. If you can answer those 4 prompts, you're going to tell us what happened. How did your students react and respond? How does implementing this new strategy help to support and strengthen student learning? Because again, a lot of these entries are all about showing that growth. And the last one, how would your activity have a positive school-wide impact? How are they going to take this and apply it out to different settings? Okay? Any questions on what you're going to be doing for this entry? Okay, then the next slide is just helpful tips for you. So again, just giving you a little bit more. The left side are things that we've seen that aren't as detailed, and the right side are just tips on how to make it a little bit more rich in terms of how you're writing your entries. Because again, the final reader is somebody who has not taken this class, so they're going to want to read a little bit more about the details of what happened in your activity. Okay? All right, so here we go. 2 more slides left. We now have finished session 1. We have come to an end. So we have gone through the overview, the community of learners, and creating a classroom community. Wednesday is our next session. That will be going over your philosophy of education. So again, philosophy of classroom management. So you're going to want to come with something pretty much drafted up for that, like Jackie had mentioned earlier. Okay? Now, you can kind of see the dates for the next sections. And then the last slide. So upcoming, we're going to give you about 3 weeks to finish this first entry. And then you're going to have probably about 2.5 weeks again to work on that philosophy one. So by September 16th, this will kind of keep you guys on track so you don't feel like you're rushing to do all your entries at the toward the tail end. So if you can, by September 16th, if you can have that creating a classroom community, the one I just talked about, we want that one. If you can have that one pretty much done. If you want to turn it in early, I will try to do my best to go through it and give you feedback sooner rather than later. And then you're going to have your philosophy of classroom management also due at that time as well. And I think Jackie probably the same thing. If you, after we go through that session, if you want to start turning things a little bit early, we'll try to do our best to kind of go through that and give you feedback for that.
Yeah, and then Christy, just to interject, so that philosophy that's due on the 16th would be the part 3. So part 1 needs to be done and brought with you to Wednesday, and then you'll have time to work on part 2 at that session on Wednesday, and then you have that part 3 to complete and turn in by September 16th. Thanks, Christy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you want, if you have any questions and you want to stay on, if we can help you with anything, we can definitely stay on for you. Otherwise, Shannon, did you have anything else to add either, or are we good?
No, thanks so much for taking your Saturday morning and joining us.
You guys have a wonderful weekend. Good luck with your entry. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Could I ask a question after?
Sure.
I have a question too.
Just stay on and we can help you out.
I was looking for the classroom organization and classroom procedures. Is that going to be posted later? Or is that on here already?
Yes, we don't post anything until like the day before usually.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
And Laureen, we already took care of your sign-in for you. You don't need to worry about that. And I'm currently taking a PD class as well, and it has live sessions. So we really appreciate your guys' patience, because when I took my first day of my live session, I was like, whoa, this is confusing. Not that it was confusing, but it was different than what the way we do it. So I was like, it gave me a really good perspective on how we can help clarify things and help better explain things for you guys. So we take care of your sign-in for you.
Thank you.
Because otherwise it's like, for me, I was trying to like work a tablet, a computer, and then my phone too, right? Trying to do all the things I needed to. But yeah, so we try and make it easier for you as well. And Lori, I'm not sure if you caught in the beginning also, we'll take care of your portfolio for you. You just have to go in, sign your first page, and then we assemble everything.
Wait, and where do I find that portfolio at?
It's in the Google Classroom, and it is, I think in session 1, Chrissy.
Yes, it's in the community of learners. It's the first
Okay.
page. Yep. All you have to do is go in there, fill in your front information sheet, and then on the 3rd page, sign, and you're good to go.
And it might also come up on your, oh, I'm sorry, Lorraine.
Well, okay, I'm in classwork. And so where do I find it?
Go to session 1, community of learners.
Oh, community of learners. Okay.
And then that first tab is your portfolio. Do you see that?
Well, it has
Another place, Lorraine, you can look is over on the upper left. You'll have upcoming assignments if you go to your main Google Classroom page.
assignments. I'm sorry. I'm so new at this. Okay.
Okay, let me walk you through this.
I don't need.
Okay, so Lorraine, go to the, see on the tab for classroom. If you're in the classroom, it's
Yes,
green
in classwork.
Right. So if you go to classwork, you're going to see session 1 overview, and then you'll see session 1 community of learners. Do you see that one?
Okay, I see the slides.
Okay, you should also have your portfolio cover page. Let me see if you have.
All I see is the Fall 23 community
You know
Google
what?
slides.
Yeah, I don't see yours on here either. Let me see. Oh yeah, yours is there, Lorraine.
Oh,
Let me
geez.
help you out. I'm gonna put
Maybe
the link.
refresh maybe with
Here,
that.
Lorraine, I'm gonna put
Okay, I did
for
refresh.
yours.
Maureen, come back to the chat. Come back to the meeting.
Okay, back to the meeting.
Open up the chat box.
Oh,
okay.
Click that link. And that should open up your your very own portfolio page.
Oh, where it says I can do it, classroom man. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, thanks. Oh, I see it. I see it now.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, thank you.
You know, just to clarify, like you'll see the way we organize our material is the chunks are the sessions, right? The topics, right? So we had, let me see if I can do this. Let me stop sharing this screen and come over here.
Do I make a copy of this or do I just type right in here?
You just type, it's your own personal copy. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so stay
stop.
on the meet because I'm going to walk you through how to navigate our Google Classroom.
Okay. Okay.
So when you're on here, wait, you come into the Google Classroom. Our meeting links will always be posted as our newest thing right before the meeting. Then
okay.
If you click over to Google, if you click over to Classwork, we chunk it by the session. So our first session was an overview, then we had community of learners, then we had creating a classroom. Now within each of those sessions, you'll see an assignment or an activities. So this little thing here, like that clipboard, the clipboard means it's you have to do.
Okay.
Okay. And then you'll see like our session slides where that's just a resource shared with you. And everything is chunked like that. Okay. So when you want to type on something, you're going to be looking, when you do your portfolio entries, you're going to be looking at session 1 activities. You're going to be looking for the activities with the clipboard. Okay.
The clipboard. Okay, got it.
Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Oh my gosh. I know. I'm not this young. Yeah, I'm an older one.
Don't even worry. We're all in this together.
Okay, I got it. Okay, thank you so much. I'll take a break and I'll work on this.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Okay, I'll see you Wednesday night. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I just had a question. I saw at the beginning that you wanted me to change my name, but I don't know how to do that. I've never used Google Classroom before. I mean, Google Meet app before.
Oops,
Jennifer,
Shannon,
right? So I think the way you can do that is, it looks like when I was trying to put you in a breakout room, you had joined via your Google Calendar, or did you join through the classroom?
I joined through the classroom.
Now, are you on here? So you're on here is on.
Yes, I know. So maybe I joined wrong. Okay, well, I'll try that next time.
You might be our missing person from the Google Classroom. So I'm going to put the link in the.
I'm not in Google Classroom.
I don't see you on the Google Classroom.
I can see all of the assignments and everything.
You can?
Oh,
Yeah.
and you're-
I think so. It's like, this is ICDI fall, right?
23, yes.
Yeah, like it's a session 1 overview, slide,
Why
supplemental
can't we
resources.
see you on here?
I don't know. That's weird because I can see the classroom and I turned in the first assignment.
You did? Okay. We can
Yeah,
go look
like where you had to put your name. I had trouble putting my name in right, but I like read the rubric
Oh,
and
there you are. You're right on the top. I know why it's not because
Okay,
it's an MSN account. I'm surprised you were able to join us.
because what is it?
This is you, right? Right on the top.
Yes.
Okay, it's an MSN.com account, and
I
I'm
thought-
surprised.
I thought we had to use our personal one.
Yes, but in the letter, it specifically states it has to be a personal Gmail account.
Oh, okay, I missed that. I just used the one I already had because it works. I'm taking like coding and I could use that email, that login for my other PD. So I don't know, figured it would work here. I guess I didn't.
Yeah, let me quick check something. While I'm checking something, does the next person want to go? And I'm gonna look
Sorry.
at this and see. No, it's quite all right.
Sorry, I had a quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
Is there a possible list of when the different assignments are due, or would I have to click on each assignment to specifically see when they're due on Google Classroom?
About 2 weeks after we have the session.
That I would have to click on each assignment, or
We don't have our due dates are flexible. Did we put the due dates in on our cover page?
I don't think so.
No, I
No.
don't think
Yeah.
we have it.
So it's roughly about 2 weeks after the assignment was given.
Okay, so just to clarify, so for next class, which is on Wednesday, what's due is the philosophy of classroom management and the part 1 and part 2 of the portfolio, the strategy one, the classroom community, or was it just a philosophy?
So just philosophy of education, your first part is due. So there's only 2 times where our turnaround time is really short, and that's for that first assignment, having you write your philosophy of education. So that is sometimes like a 4 to 5 day to a week turnaround, right? So that one will be due Wednesday. And then the other one is at the very end with your final reflection.
Got it.
So-
Thank you so
So
much.
yeah, but otherwise we just don't, our dates, we put the dates out there as suggestions, as kind of pacing guides for you guys. And we do our best to start grading them. However, we know life happens and sometimes it gets a little, so you just don't want to go too far along past that 2 weeks. So just keep in mind in about 2 weeks it's due as your
Got
pay.
it. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Have a
Amy.
good afternoon. Jennifer, you should be fine. I'm surprised. So this works. And if we run into issues or you run into issues, keep us posted and we'll figure it out from there.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't read that more carefully. I worked in my other class I needed to use my personal one for, so I just automatically used it. So sorry about that.
Jennifer, it's okay.
worries.
We're
No worries.
teachers. I don't read either. So
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much for your help.
Thank
no
you.
problem. Enjoy your afternoon.
Okay, see you next time.
Thanks.
Hi, I just wanted to let you guys know I'm actually not going to be there on Wednesday. It's the only session I can't make. So I just want to give you a heads up. I will have my philosophy done. I'll have the assignment done for you, but I thought I should just at least give you a heads up. So
Okay. Thank you. And Elizabeth, what we'll do is if anybody else doesn't show, we'll pair you folks up for that one. But please make sure you watch the video also, the recording. That one.
yeah,
Yes.
I will. I'll watch the video. I'll get it done. And then so just so I know exactly what's expected, I will be commenting on the other person's.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and then I will be providing a response to mine after they comment.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay. All right. That sounds good. I guess my only concern would be like if that person takes a really long time to comment, then I wouldn't. But
I
maybe
know.
we'll cross that bridge if it's an issue. So
Yes. And sometimes it is an issue. So we try to remind them that, before that person can move on,
yeah.
they can do their part. So yes.
Okay.
But
Cool.
hopefully
Well, we're
not.
all teachers. We understand. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you. Thanks,
Bye.
Elizabeth. Bye.